Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D with the 1923 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. It's Abraham Lincoln, our president, facing to the right. It says, "In God we trust," above him, "Liberty" here, in 1923 here. This tiny coin, if you can get it in the right grade, could be worth over $60,000. In fact, one of these sold for $67,500 with the San Francisco mint mark on it. This, of course, is not the San Francisco mint mark. This is a Philadelphia mint mark. So if you can get this up to a MS68, you're only talking about $25,000, but that still would be great. Now remember, the coin has to be red. It's not going to look used like this, but this is certainly the same coin, just of a different grade. Let's talk about it. It says, "In God we trust," up above Lincoln, "Liberty" behind him, the year 1923 here. No mint mark underneath means this is from the Philadelphia Mint, where they made 75 million of these. If you can get this just to an MS65, you're talking about $100 to $200. MS65 red. One of the things I want to talk to you about is this "In God We Trust" at the top. They often didn't get the "we" right. So look at this W up there. So it's at kind of the wrong angle. There's a lot of space between the God, the G-O, and the D, and it's just kind of a funny thing. So look at the one underneath is a San Francisco mint coin, and look at the difference in the W's here. They just struck it kind of funny, and I don't know why that is, whether it just slipped a little bit, but you see a lot of these in the 1920s where they just kind of missed just a little. Not enough to make it worth a lot of money, but enough to make it look like somebody kind of didn't set the type right on it. This is a copper coin, 95% copper, 5% zinc or tin. And we get to the back, and remember, of course, this is the wheat ears 1 cent coin from the US. Let's look at the E pluribus up here. We see there is the nice dot between the E and the pluribus, the dot between pluribus and the unum. Again, the typeset here a little funky, this L that kind of shifts to the side. It says 1 cent in the center, United States of America here. And this is a pretty good coin if you look at just the wheat ears on here. Some pretty good lines on here. And then down at the bottom, you're not going to see the mint mark here because this course is on the front. It was only on the back down here for the 1909. And then if you're looking for the other mint marks, here's one of the other mint marks. In fact, there's only one other mint mark in 1923. The Denver Mint did not make pennies in 1923. No Lincoln cents. This is the S, and look how soft kind of this S was done on here. It's kind of a snaky little S. It says 1923, really stylized, the 19 and 23. We didn't really talk about that on here, but it's kind of a fun styling of the numbers. We see that this one has plenty of spots on it. Not great value to this one either. This one, even though this isn't in great shape, it still could be worth between $6 and $10. If you can get this up just to a very fine 20, it's worth 10. An extra fine 40 is worth 60. So this S, they only made 8.7 million. And so that's why they sold one for 67,000, because they just didn't make many of them, and they didn't make many great ones. Same thing, everything the same on the top, everything the same on the back. Now 1923, we're talking 100 years old at this point, and this is the only coin that still has the same image on the front. In 1923, we had the dollar coin, and this is the peace dollar. It says Liberty at the top, "In God We Trust" here, 1923, and we see it says $1, and down here it says peace, P-E-A-C-E. Head to $1, that's gone. In 1923, they had a different half dollar, and we've moved down to the Kennedy half. Moved to the Kennedy half in 1964. We didn't actually ever move back to a silver dollar, but we did move back to the dollars with the Ike dollars in 1970. Kennedy half in 64. In 1938, so I'm showing you the first versions of these coins. The nickel in 1923 was, of course, the Buffalo Indian head nickel. In 1938, they came out with a new nickel. In 1946, they came out with the new dime, not the Liberty dime or not the Mercury dime. And in 1932, they came out with the new quarter. So the Lincoln penny is the only one that's still around, still with the same image on it. We did come out with one with this Washington image on it in 2022, but even though this image is no longer on there. So if you're looking for these coins, you should be able to find just a really poor version, kind of like these ones, for $10 or under. The 1923, I think, in this shape that this is in, you should be able to get the Philadelphia one for almost uncirculated for somewhere between $10 and $12. So look for one better than this, and if you got the $10 or $12, I'd buy it. They just don't have a whole lot. For the 1923S, if you want to get to almost uncirculated, you're starting to talk about close to 100, MS60 200, and MS65 somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000. All right, that's all we have today from Big D Coins. This is DC saying thanks for watching, Big D. Please subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.